I challenge all people on Nintendo Power to a round of Smash.
Ooh.
That would be a fucking
It's
show.
out there.
That would be a goddamn...
It's out on the ether.
That's multiplayer's resolution right there. Welcome everybody to another episode of Multiplayer. I'm your host, not sick anymore, Guillermo Dorado. And with me today are my co-hosts, like always, like forever, and each of them are named separately. Zach Matscanis.
Yeah, why wouldn't we be named separately?
We're named together.
All right.
Also, I'm the sick one this week, so I
Hey,
apologize
you
for my
transferred over.
low energy. Yeah, it's gonna go to person to person. It's
gonna
It's a nice low energy
Skip
sandwich.
right over me.
and just hit Nathan right in the face.
Yep.
And we also have Javier Ortiz.
The not sick, ever sick.
Right.
Never.
We should combine your guys' names, kind of like have a little couch thing, you know? Be like a
Jack?
Xavier.
Xavier.
Or a Jav. Is
Well,
that
that's
what
just
I
a-
said? Jav is
Xavier
I said Jack.
Ortiz.
Oh, Jack. Okay.
Jack.
I'm sorry, I brought it up.
No. All right, Xavier.
Guys, thank you so
Xavier?
much. Players for listening if you're on a podcast, and players for watching if you're watching on our YouTube channel. We appreciate that, and we're here again another week for your viewing pleasure.
By the way,
pleasure.
nice
Oral
shirt.
pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. You too
Pretty
as well.
sure.
Thanks.
I
I
like
got a
that
shirt
you're
on.
advertising someone else.
I am.
Also, guys, we do have a Patreon page. I will give you more details towards the end of this episode, but having your eyes on that would be great. But guys, let's go ahead and jump straight into the show because we have some things to talk about. First of all, there's a couple of things that are news is kind of sparse around the end of the year. Not much is happening. All the big moves have been made by the companies, but there are still a few little surprises to talk about. And then I want to kind of go through a yearly roundup, so to say. Because, guys, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Completely went over that.
Or Happy Hanukkah.
Or a Happy Hanukkah.
Or,
yes, or an inclusive holiday of
Your choice.
happy. Yes.
Satanist Day.
Oh, God.
I don't
Well,
know.
you
Is
got
that a
it's
thing?
2017, man. You have to include everybody.
Happy December.
There you go.
Yeah, so thank you guys for... I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I hope you liked our last episode, and now you're back with us because we're going to talk about that sweet, sweet New Year coming around the corner. But before we do, guys, I do want to say that not only is the New Year coming around the corner, it's going to be Rebirth, a whole new section, but something else has rebirthed recently as well. Really tenuous segue. Here we go. Nintendo Power, what it used to be, the magazine, fucking all the way from the 80s, that whole little magazine subscription that used to come to you guys as mailboxes talking about sweet cheat codes and hints about games that you love. They actually dismantled back in 2012.
Well, they're dead.
Yeah, they're gone. They dismantled back in 2012, but they've only been basically a 5-year hiatus because now they're back doing their own podcast. I think that we personally
Pretty dope.
inspired them to do
Is that what happened?
podcast. I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right?
We were here first.
Right.
Nintendo.
The
yeah.
only video game podcast.
Yeah,
no,
pretty much.
we
Well, the
invented
only
it.
good one.
Right.
Let's
Well, it's hosted by the editor-in-chief, Chris Slate. He's back now, manning the helm of that show. Also an avid viewer, listener. Anyways.
that he is.
Yeah, but apparently they're going for
Sure.
a much more experimental kind of take on Nintendo news. Now they're trying to. That's what he said. In the very beginning, he's like,
Experimental.
It's an experimental take on a podcast.
He's like, we have a whole range of subjects we want to talk. This was him at the very beginning of the show. He's like, we want to talk about how the Nintendo Switch fared this year. We also have Anuma talking about the development of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but we want to take more of a experimental approach on Nintendo topics. And I was like, I'm interested. What does that mean?
Instead of microphones, we're gonna talk into shoes.
We're gonna have a sky cam at a low angle, and that's it.
But they're not. They're gonna not
have a
film
narrator
on
the entire time. Yeah. What? How do you narrate an interview? Yeah, but apparently, they just announced released their newest episode. It's up on SoundCloud now. That's apparently the only place to have.
Yeah, it's weird. It's only on SoundCloud.
Yeah, but they're not entirely clear exactly what their schedule's going to be like.
I know why they're on SoundCloud.
Why?
Because that's the only place that we're not on.
That makes sense.
So they're attacking that
that
market.
makes sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Smart.
It's the
It is.
the
Left
blue
field.
ocean strategy, where it's just
Sure.
That's
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah, blue
But
ocean.
yeah, so now you guys can get a little double dosage, especially for our Nintendo fans. 'Cause, I mean, we're pretty. It's pretty clear that we're biased with Nintendo over here on this episode.
A little bit.
We like to, we give information all going on to different consoles. We don't
Nintendo's the best. Shut up.
Yeah.
I will
But
fight
yeah, so
anybody
now,
who wants
now
to fight
that
me on
is
that.
because like you were both avid collectors of Nintendo Power, right? I know you for certainty because of all this shit, but like also
No,
Yeah.
my parents didn't let me subscribe to shit when I was a kid.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
It's like, what,
Except
reading?
for
No.
subscribing to slaps in the back of the head.
that's pretty much it. Subscribe to a
yeah.
belt to the bottom.
No, when I
can
was
pay for
when I was a kid, I my mom was a librarian, so she would
Dope.
yay librarians.
It is, man. They have
Government
important jobs.
workers.
Yeah.
They get paid nothing. But
Teach
they
the
would
world to read. Anyways.
she would order like Nintendo Power and GamePro and a few other magazines. Those are the two big ones that I really enjoyed the most. She would order those for the library every month, and so I'd go to the library, after school and read those magazines. And at the end of the month, when they would go to like throw those out, she would just bring them home for me. So I just had like stacks of Game Pros and Nintendo Powers. So it's like I grew up like reading those every single month, and it was
That's why we
just
have you
like
on the show. Just a cache of knowledge of Nintendo Power.
I would read that instead of doing homework, and that's why I'm a big dumb boy with only video game
Nintendo
stuff
boy.
in my brain.
Hey, no. That's what we need. We need that knowledge here in the show. I'm glad. I
Yep.
mean, like, I had a couple, like, it was more like I was at a friend's house and they had Nintendo Power. I was like, what? Zelda on the cover? And I was just like, flip through. Like, I didn't know how to read. Still don't. But just flipping through the pages and, like, the picture stuff. The funny thing is that, one of the biggest parts about Nintendo Power magazine was, like, the hints and, like, the special, like, tricks and things that you couldn't get. I mean, obviously, now we have the internet to tell us all those things. But back then, that was like their only source to like know, like, oh, behind this waterfall in Zelda is a naked woman.
Oh, what Zelda
It's
game
a
was
secret to
that?
everybody. You guys didn't play that one? No, but like they had those like kind of things. So I was thinking, like, what if what he means by experimental in the podcast is like they have like certain things, little hints and tricks about games that like you have to listen to the podcast to like discover. Like, bring a little bit back of that old magazine charm.
Yeah, I guess.
It won't last because people will post
A week
it.
later,
Yeah.
people will put it on the internet. So
Well, there goes my dreams.
yeah.
The thing is, by the time it's like, you produce an episode and you put it up in a few days, it's like somebody's probably already found that and have just posted it online anyways.
Dumb.
I mean, if you want, you could just buy strategy guides.
Yeah, but I don't want to pay money for that.
Well,
Podcasts are free. I'm just saying. Like,
Right, that is true. It is.
Unless you go to our Patreon page. No. But yeah, so like I thought that was kind of the interesting news that they just decided to come back.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
they're
Yeah,
attacking a
dig it.
market that I think is like perfect for that, unfortunately no one wants
Is,
to read, so hey, talk to me about it.
Is there? I honestly haven't checked. Is Nintendo Power still like a website producing articles and news and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Are they?
I actually don't know.
Let's
You're
find
bad
out.
I'll give a fact checker. No, I bring up the topic. You know a little bit about the topic, like more details,
Yeah,
and then
but I
he
haven't-
looks up like,
it's
the
like,
facts about it.
Not Game. I think GamePro's like that, or maybe they're not. Gosh, I honestly I haven't. It's like I have
those
like
old
IGN and
sites. Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that I go to, but
Do you know like all the old? Sorry, this we're kind of like going off a little bit of a tangent, but like remember like all the old websites you used to frequent like when you were playing games like at the dawn of internet. Like for me, it
Dude.
was like Cheap Planet.
yeah.
Like,
Cheap Planet.
Yeah,
I totally
fucking dope, right? Like
yeah.
that's now gone. Or,
And
like
I would use-
GameFAQs was a big one.
GameFAQs.
Yeah,
Game
GameFAQ. I would use cheatcc.com.
Cheat sheets. Oh, dude, you had to attack all of them.
Yeah,
To
pretty
figure
much.
out which one's gonna give me like big head mode and god mode.
Yeah, dude, Cheap Planet. Man, that takes me back.
I
That's been a
know.
minute.
That needs to come back as a podcast too.
I don't see a Nintendo Power website, just the Nintendo website. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they just kind of like that makes sense.
everything's under
They just
Nintendo.com.
dissolved
Yeah.
it. That's a bummer, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're coming back in some form.
Yeah,
Totally.
like a phoenix, out of the ashes they rise.
Nintendo will never die.
Nintendo will never
They
die,
won't.
nor their power.
It's not gonna happen. Well, that's what makes them not die.
Right. So another thing too that I think is we're on the cusp of futuristic technology, and if you are paying attention to our viewers, if you're paying attention to what's on the table, there's usually little hints about what we're talking about. And yes, there are two Virtual Boys on there because Magic Leap, a company that has been pretty much steeped in mystery and secrecy since their founding in 2011, has been working on an augmented reality headset, or goggles, if you will. Essentially, it's a two-piece set, actually three-piece. The first one being a pair of goggles, which are called Lightwear, very condescendingly called. And then you have the computer module, which is this like little hip pack that's about the size and shape of a DVD disc. It's called
Walkman?
a Walkman, yeah, called the Light Pack. And then they have like a little, remote control that you're gonna hold in your hand. It's smaller than a Wiimote and more dumb looking. But anyways, the point is,
Like a Joy-Con? Like the size of a Joy-Con?
yeah, kind of about the size of
So
a
you got
phone, yeah.
some glasses, Joy-Con, and Walkman.
A Walkman.
Right, and the thing too is like we talk a lot about
Interesting setup.
VR, and VR is like sweeping, all the independent, basically all game developers are using VR now in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
fashion,
just a
kind
lot of them
testing
are
it out.
fiddling with it.
Right,
A lot
but
of
we don't
tests.
hear a lot about augmented reality. Like that was a thing that like I remember when it first hit like the 3DS and everyone was freaking out with those little like cards that came with the actual system.
Yeah.
They had that, and then we had Pokemon Go and some other like little games that kind of utilize augmented reality, which is basically a camera that shows like the real world and then has like whatever computer animated like characters or stuff that are like kind of like thrown in on top
Digimon.
of. Yeah, Digimon. Digimon. Augmented reality Digimon. But now this company is I mean, again, founded in 2011. I didn't even know about this company's existence until like today.
Never heard of them.
But they're worth they've raised $1.9 billion because there is a lot of like really heavy hitting industry, companies that are really interested in investing a lot of money into this product. And now they're actually their net worth is listed at $6 billion.
It's not bad.
If they wanted to sell out, right?
Chump change.
Yeah, right. So but
Got
here's
that
the thing.
in my mattress.
For a company working on a product that is not really on the forefront of technology right now because everyone's attacking VR. That's the whole thing. For a company to do that, but to have so much investment money and so much worth already garnered to it without having any kind of products out is really impressive.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Right.
The second thing about this, though, is that their whole shtick about this product is essentially like the Google glasses that we saw like a couple years ago. That was like teased.
Google goggles.
Google goggles. Google goggles.
How did they not call them Google goggles? Come on.
I don't know. I think they just wanted like to be like I thought about like baby talk.
Google goggles?
Yeah.
They're called Google.
True. But so they have these these goggles that allow you to see your real world surroundings, but are like throwing in these overlaid visuals and graphics, and they are doing a whole slew of shit with it, going from like watching live TV at any different kind of angles. You have like multiple screens like pop up into your everyday world, so you can kind of like check on the weather or check on the news as you're like walking around, look at your stock market.
Become Iron Man, pretty much.
It's essentially, yeah, it's exactly
Or Metroid
that.
Prime with a bunch of shit.
Right. But then
awesome.
also they're using it for video game capabilities as well. They're going to be releasing their whole creators toolkit at the beginning of 2018, and then they also have like interactive comic books, which I know you'd be a super huge fan of.
I would love that.
Right. Here's the thing that I think is a little bit scary. A little bit scary. All right. The journalist that I was reading this article from, it was actually Rolling Stones, did a really long and lengthy piece on this because there's a huge non-disclosure agreement that the company is making all of these journalists that they invite personally to come to their fucking you.
Yeah, put it on silent.
Yeah, I gotcha. Oh my god, there we go. They personally invite these journalists to come. They sign a really huge non-disclosure agreement and they say that you'd only, write about certain topics and certain things that you've seen here today. They keep everything else wrapped in secrecy.
Sure.
But the journalist did mention a few things, and one of the things that he said that he did experience was as he was like going through these like multi-screen kind of situations, like throwing up different kind of like info, news, and shit. A door opened up in the background, fake door. And light shone through as if Christ were about to walk through it. And
then he did.
And he did, yeah. And he's not religious. It's amazing. No. And this woman walked through, and he, walked up towards, the woman, and she was like very lifelike. He could tell that like she wasn't he wasn't being like tricked too much. Like he's like, okay, this is obviously a fake thing.
Yeah.
But to the point where like she had, her eyes tracked where his eyes were going, like always constantly looking at him because of the data that was being collected on his like pack itself.
Sure.
Was always tracking him where he was. She was mainly controlled where the demo person was like kind of showing like cycling through all of her different emotions and the way that what she could do, voice action, voice commands, and then basically it was like, yeah, this woman right here is potentially going to be, your Amazon Alexa or your Apple Siri or your OK Google. And I was like, hold the fuck up.
It's a little creepy.
It is. So I know there was a kind of a lengthy explanation to this whole thing, but the journalist himself said, and then also like in having a discussion with the people who were showing him this technology, and from word of all the investors, they're all saying that this could be the potential of this thing coming out could be the next big thing, such as the internet. I worded that completely wrong. It could be the next big thing as big as the birth of the internet.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I don't know, dude. I mean, like, for as much secrecy as they put into this and how much this fucking company is worth and how much backing they have, and apparently this test demo, like, all the journalists that have like, had this experience were saying, like, this is fucking nuts. Like, the further, when you walk closer to these beings, they don't lose detail. Like, it's still very seamless and very real looking.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to living in the Matrix. Pretty
fucking
much.
Dude, that's what I'm talking
exactly
about.
What's going to happen.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty far off from all that still. You know, it's...
I mean, it's in development. I mean, yeah, all this stuff is currently in development, but like 100 years from now, who knows?
100 years, yeah.
That's not that far.
This shit is going to be launching 2018. That's the biggest news. For not having showed any kind of like on, you know, in any kind of tech conference or anything about like actually how it works or like even videos of to what it is. It's just all been conceptual videos that they've like kind of released. They're releasing it next year and people are like, this is going to be fucking big. My question is this not as big as the birth of the internet? Is this the death of humanity? That's what I'm curious about. Like, that's
Skynet?
Dude, I'm not fucking with you, man. It's scary.
I think we're pretty far off from all that. It's.
But what
I was
makes you
even
say that?
You know,
$6
mostly
billion.
it doesn't matter. It's just like I mean, there's a lot of people that tell you that like AI is like nowhere close to, you know, being able to do much of anything. It's like it's
They
we're
can't
just
be racist. Didn't Microsoft like have an AI that like
yeah,
became
they
racist
could be
within the hour?
Yeah, but you know, it's pretty
Just
easy to be
taught itself
racist.
the terrible parts of humanity.
But it's I just you know I just don't think we're there yet. I mean, it's you look at something like VR and it's like it's cool what they can do right now, but it's like it's so far off from what it can be and what it will be.
Sure, it's not going to be like Ready Player One anytime.
Yeah, no,
soon,
it's like
but...
we're very much in the infancy of, I mean, just interactive media in general. It's just like we're so like in the just baby stages.
Sure.
This is like us like first inventing like moving pictures.
Yeah,
and it's like.
However, if I get a point where my life becomes like the Yu-Gi-Oh TV show, where I can just create monsters, augmented reality, and just have these I mean, I'd be down for that. Have a fucking wicked ass Yeah, but like
Digimon's
Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh are nothing alike. They're nothing alike. One's a card game.
I don't care. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like.
Digimon's
There's
awesome.
Agumon
I'm just saying.
and Bakuman
Koromon.
and Sodamon.
But like, but I'm just saying.
Sodamon?
Yeah, I'm
There
just
probably is a Sodamon.
It would be
There's
really
Romans.
cool. Like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's not that cool, but if I had some giant dragons that could come out when I play the game, it'd be pretty cool. Like,
Or Agumon could just digivolve into Greymon.
they're not the same.
and Blackmon.
And then he could turn into Metal Greymon.
War Greymon was the best.
I'm stopping
one.
with the joke, guys. So here's the thing, though. You say that it's in the infancy stages, but like fucking video games were just created 20 years ago, and now look where they are now. Not 20.
I mean, they were created a while ago.
80s, the 80s, ladies. But no,
Well, before I mean, video games started in the 70s.
yeah, but now we're at a point where our consoles are like having iterations of like upgrade iterations in between the console life. Like now we have like Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, things
1S,
are moving
1UP.
quick,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, I think especially AI, it's just by the time we get to that, what is that, like the Litman's test? Is that what it is?
No, it's the Turing test.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
What the heck's
The SATs.
The litmus test is just like if my litmus test is basically like saying if you're a shitty person. I asked you one question, and it's do you like
I'll just
Mad
use your
Max?
excuse this week and say I'm sick.
There you go, perfect. You can use that excuse anytime you
But
want.
yeah, it's like it'll take a while before it's like AI can really think for themselves and can fool us into thinking they're not AI. And
Until it becomes like Blade Runner, where we have to figure out who are the replicants.
it's Harrison Ford.
It's Harrison Ford.
Who's that guy? Buggy Monroe.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's from the way that the people are reacting to this thing and like how all of a sudden it's getting a lot of hype and news generated behind it from a company that we didn't know about.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing.
like,
I mean,
you know.
you essentially, what they're trying to do is like instead of having a tablet in front of us, it's literally like in front of us instead of having to carry something. So, I mean, for video games, that'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind sitting on a train and like just sitting with my goggles playing like Well, not like that, but you know,
It should be.
whatever game it would be like. I don't know.
You know, I'm not saying
Just-
hypothetically Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, if like
I'm still saying, like, if you could duel somebody and have giant dragons and stuff, that'd be badass. I don't see the problem
I
there.
mean,
That'd be
Digimon,
cool.
bro.
Dude, that's not a card game. You can't play Digimon against each
That's
other.
what you
I don't
think.
know. I'm just
Digimon is a
worried.
card game, by the way. I used to.
Is it?
Yeah,
It is.
I used to get the cards.
Well, you mean
There was a shitty card game.
no? I'm saying,
for people
but
who didn't like
Digimon
Pokemon.
is not. When you say Digimon, you don't think of a card game. Yu-Gi-Oh literally is a card game. The show is a card game. Everything's about a card game. Digimon's not about a card game.
Digimon's about being better than Yu-Gi-Oh. Alright?
It's true.
I'm not
actually.
saying it's not.
Pokemon
I'm
had
just
its throne up here, and everyone else is like, we gotta figure out what we're doing. And you had Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon, and
I'm not
then
saying.
I didn't realize there was a divide on the couch over this topic. That's interesting to me.
Digimon's where it's at.
That's our
That's
bonus. That's our
fine.
bonus run episode. Just like have you guys have a debate between those two really shitty card games.
Digimon's not a card game. It's a show.
So yeah, I don't know. I want to talk about it because I was the Magic Leap. This whole thing. I want to talk about it because it did come out of nowhere, and also it's just to me it's a little scary because we're already kind of like closed off as social creatures, anyways now, and
Yeah.
that's just one more fucking excuse to not talk to people and like how we're just gonna be fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
We're just gonna be all
gonna be
fucked. No, I'm just kidding. No, but they on their website at Magic Leap they also had like different things like you could use the product for this and this. You know, like they were saying like yes for watching TV or live things or looking at your news, but also it's like online shopping, like actually like being able to like twist
Yeah.
whatever product you're looking at from all angles.
You know what
and
else it
different
could
colors.
be? Mega Man, NT Warrior. You ever hear that? That was in this world where everything
Yeah, it was a
literally.
shitty card game.
Well, no, it wasn't. Literally everything
Digimon's
was.
way better.
No, but in that world, like in that Mega Man world, everything was literally connected to the internet, and so
Right.
Mega Man was like his little internet avatar guy who would like kill viruses and fight bad guys and
Are you
stuff
talking about the
in the
RPG
internet.
series?
Uh,
The BattleNet series?
there was not. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
it on the GBA, right?
yeah, there was but there was a bunch of them like GBA.
Sure.
They had a cartoon. They had GameCube games. Like
They're pretty good actually. They're fun.
yeah, I enjoyed it. But like we're getting to that world where just like
It's
we're
no
gonna-
Digimon, but
I mean, it's not Digimon.
It's no Digimon.
You're right.
right.
You know,
That's my prediction for 2018. We're gonna get to that kind of, but I want to see a rebirth of Digimon.
we get sucked into the digital world.
The new movie.
Oh, what? Really? I was fucking
Yeah.
kidding.
No, like a from like with the season 1 characters and everything. There's a new movie coming
I
out.
don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah, they're gonna play a card game.
Yeah, I agree. In the theater.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our next topic. This is kind of just a thing that's happening. We talked about Psychonauts 2 recently on one of our episodes a while back, and I know you were excited.
Recently, a while back.
Yeah, recently, a while back. Back then, Up Down Yonder.
Few
So,
months
like,
ago.
here's the thing. Apparently, it was slated to come out 2018. It has now been delayed for after 2018. It's
Yeah.
not coming out until 2019.
It's a bummer.
Tim
Double-
Schafer says, "Sleep."
Yeah, like, fuck you guys. So I think, like, I don't know, hopefully...
That's all right.
Hopefully all these big announcements that were happening this year... I know, I got a little shuffle. Hopefully all these big announcements that are happening this year are not going to keep being fucking delayed to, to past 2018. Like, Metroid Prime had that. Now we have Psychonauts 2, which is a big fucking deal. Everyone's, like, really looking forward to that game. And they had a lot of, like, gameplay footage and stuff already, like, lined up. Kind of interesting that they said, like, you know what, actually, we need a whole new year. Not saying it's a bad thing. Ukulele probably could have done better with a whole nother year of development.
Yeah, I think they needed that.
But I don't know. It's just it's interesting. Like they were like really pushing out a lot of information. All of a sudden, it's just like actually wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, just games take a while.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
maybe-
like something like Psychonauts 2. Obviously it's a small but like really passionate group that like loves the first game, and they want the second one to be amazing. There's so much like
I think
hype behind
statistically,
it now.
there's 1 out of every 3 people have played Psychonauts 2, or just. The first
Is that what it
one. I
is?
think statistically, we prove it right now.
Have I played it though?
Have you?
Or was it a lie?
Oh shit! It's a skew.
Hey, yo, augmented reality, I'm not here.
The fuck, Digimon?
Digimon.
Oh no, we're in the digital world.
Sorry, I cut you off.
But yeah, it's just there's so much hype behind it now. It's like I think they need to just do that game justice, get it right. So it's like take time.
Yeah, I'm in no
Get all the
rush.
time in the
I
world,
mean,
Tim Schafer.
Sure.
You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, take your time because I mean, 2018 is already gonna have a few games that I'm gonna I'm looking forward to way more than Psychonauts 2. So
Well,
no offense.
I mean,
Psychonauts 2.
you know, not as if I was a host, I would find that a perfect opportunity to segue. But what good games are you looking forward to in 2018?
Well, I mentioned a couple last week.
You did, but we really glazed through a lot of other ones that we didn't like actually get to talk about. Glaze.
Digimon.
Glaze. You know, all right. So I kind of want to take this time to do like a yearly roundup and stuff like that. Talk about our year in perspective. Is that the term I'm looking for? Yeah. Kind of look back at like how the industry fared. Who was the king of 2017?
The king.
Who was the fucking petulant
The jester.
Yeah. And you know, how
We talking games, companies? What are we doing?
We're kind of just
People,
doing
dude. We're
all
talking
things. I
people.
want to start with companies first.
We're just saying things.
We're just saying things. We're just vehemently
Yo, I had this
stating
sandwich last week. Worst sandwich of 2017.
things. Yeah, petulant jester sandwich. Yeah, no, I kind of want to start off with companies specifically. I want to kind of go through the obvious answers to those questions. Like, who do you guys think just shit the bed in 2017?
In a good way?
No. Is there a good way to shit the bed?
Well, okay.
You wake up, you're like, ooh.
You know what?
This is
I did
nice.
well. I'm uncomfortable, but I did really well. 100% covered the bed.
Oh, you don't think that?
Damn. No, who like? It's. I feel like we all have the
mean,
same answer here.
Yeah. I feel like EA shouldn't count, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
EA did pretty bad.
I think EA is the
Yeah.
clear, obvious loser in this situation.
You know what I think is a pretty close second though? Someone we haven't really talked about
Who's
ever. Square Enix has not been doing much. They did Final Fantasy 15, but a lot of people had a lot of problems with that game. You know, like I kind of. I'm not gonna say kind of. I never started playing Final Fantasies. I want to.
Yeah.
But just the sheer number of these fucking sequels is like.
Well, I have one good thing to say about Square. Square.
Square Enix.
Square Enix.
Square Enix.
So they what?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Nope. It's
All
gone.
right.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Nope. I have nothing
gone.
nice to say.
Well, I have a
No, I'm
reason
trying-
why
I'm
Square
trying to think
Enix
of the
sucks
company
for another
that,
year in a row. Because they delayed Kingdom Hearts 3
Exactly.
again.
Exactly.
That's never coming. It's
Dude,
never
after
coming.
like, here's some gameplay footage, here's some trailers, like, oh, is it coming out? Nah, not yet. I mean, maybe someday, but
never
not
coming
yet.
I know you've been so excited since 2007.
Yeah.
Like fucking A, man. Damn.
Oh,
I
finally,
can't-
gameplay.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the company that makes Hitman, but
Oh,
they
yeah. We
so
don't talk about them.
Huh?
We don't talk about them.
why not?
We don't mention
They
that.
suck. I don't know. I'm just taking a very negative stance just to see where you go with it. I have no idea what
The
you're
new
gonna say.
Hitman game was dope, but
Really? I had a lot of shit talking about in that thing.
What?
Yeah. Just the
so
way
cool.
the missions were structured and the way that they did the whole thing. I've never played it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a cool
Just-
game.
there you go.
It's
I
offensive to
haven't
both
played
people.
through. I haven't played through all of it, but it's really good,
Mm-hmm.
and I really want to buy like the whole complete like Game of the Year edition and play through all the missions.
Oh,
But
dope. Okay.
It's so Square Enix branched off from that. You know, they cut ties with the company that made that game, but Square Enix still had the rights to Hitman. But Square Enix allowed. God, I wish I could remember. Could you like look up the name of them for me? I hate you so much. But so
Talk shit
they
about Yu-Gi-Oh.
they allowed them to buy the rights from Square Enix. So when I can't remember the article I was reading about it, they had asked the president of Square Enix
sure.
about it, and
Yeah.
he was just like, I can't see any other company making a Hitman game, including us. And so it's like I felt it was right to sell it to them. I was like, oh, good for you, man. It's like they could have just held on to that and just put out a bunch of games, just to put out a bunch of
And
games.
started
but they're
naming
just
all
like,
the sequels,
it
numeral
IO
numbers,
Interactive?
Roman numerals.
IO.
That's
Yeah,
it.
IO
There you go.
Interactive. That's
Yeah.
so now they're
iOS.
their own company, and they own the Hitman series.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what they do next.
All right.
Yeah, right
So
on,
that's
right
like
on.
your one good thing about Square Enix. They just
Yeah,
decided,
it's like I
instead of
thought that
milking
was
milking a franchise for
yeah,
too
for
long.
sure. They just like they sold it outright to them. They let them have their franchise, and it's like they're gonna take that in some cool directions. I think.
All right. So here's the harder question: who do you guys think won 2017?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
I want to give it to Nintendo.
yeah, Nintendo,
But you know what?
Blizzard
Blizzard was good this year.
did
But
really well.
You know, I might, and I never thought I'd say this, but I might give it to Bethesda, man. They just killed it this year.
Ooh,
You are
yeah.
biased as fuck though with that.
What do you mean?
Oh, with Wolfenstein. Are you talking about just specifically Wolfenstein?
No, just the company in general this year. I mean, they were killing it, man. It's like they put out a ton of new games or like some like cool ports or some. I mean, they came out with like everything.
Yeah,
this
not to
year.
mention they
It's
like got hyped for a game that was released how many years ago? Skyrim again.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
and
no
then
kidding.
like
Again.
Bethesda
Completely
is,
forgot
they've
about
never
that,
really
absolutely.
they've never really supported Nintendo consoles, and it's like they came out with Doom, they came out with Skyrim,
Wolfenstein
and like
2's coming out.
good ports too, like really good solid ports, and they're coming out with Wolfenstein 2 next year for it, and it's like
so weird to imagine Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch.
know.
Evil Within 2 also it did pretty well this year.
yeah, it's they had Evil Within 2, they had like
They
a
also
bunch
had
of their
they
VR
had
games.
a dope E3 presence as well.
Yeah, and like
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
the whole
I
theme
love
park
their
thing.
like commercial during the Game Awards, just like
Yeah.
like talking about like it's like, hey people, support single player games because that's what Bethesda does, and that's what they do
Yeah.
best. That's like they're not trying to do online like multiplayer nonsense, loot boxes. They're like, no, it's like single player story based campaigns that are just good. And
Do you
it's
think,
like
do you think they're in direct competition with Naughty Dog? Like, do you think that because Naughty Dog is kind of like on its own tier at this point?
Right.
Do you think Bethesda is now their opposing force in single
No,
player
I
games?
think they're just they're obviously both doing single player like narrative games, but I think they're very different. I don't think they're really in direct competition.
I think Bethesda releases more than Naughty Dog does.
Oh yeah,
It's true.
for
There's,
sure.
I
there's a
mean-
certain type of polish that comes to the Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah, and that's just like, and yeah, I really just think they killed it this year, and it's like nothing but like really great games and
Nothing but
ports,
net.
and like supporting Nintendo's new console with like crazy good ports. Like nobody can say like, oh, we can't port this because it's an underpowered system. It's like go look at Doom.
Yeah.
Go look at Doom. It's
Yeah.
like if they can do it, then anybody can do it. There's no excuse if you can put Doom in that thing, and it's just like playing as well as it does.
That's true. That is true. I mean, Bethesda did do a good year this year. Naughty Dog as well. I know there's a bit of flack with the whole Crash Bandicoot trilogy, but still.
There is?
Well, only because like people were arguing that yes, it is a great remaster and everything, but they could have like reinvented or redesigned the controls and the camera to
Why?
fit more modern games. Like they took like basically just
But then that's a remake. You're not a
Right,
remaster
right.
is not a remake.
Sure.
But that's also not Naughty Dog anymore. It's Activision.
It's true.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
Wow.
shame.
that is a shame. Well, anyways, but point remains, they had a good year this year as well.
Yeah.
I think that an honorable mention should go out to Visceral Games. I know that they weren't really an opposing force here in the industry for a while. Like Dead Space 1 was awesome, and then
Yeah.
EA was like, we're going to milk you dry, and then just
Then
fucked
kill
up the
you.
entire thing. Yeah, and then literally, killed them. But I missed them. I would love to see where they were going to go with that, and I don't know how I feel about Respawn being bought out by
Yeah.
EA as well. Is it EA or Activision? It was EA.
Yeah.
EA.
Because they broke away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're working on some sort of Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Another multiplayer thing.
Oh, and that like scary paranoia game about a real soldier.
Oh,
in
yeah, the
VR.
soldier thing. Yeah.
But it does sound like
ooh,
EA
yeah.
is going to take another crack at Titanfall, which is nice.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. Well, until they give us loot boxes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Yeah.
Besides like Nintendo being, I think, just an obvious choice because of what they've accomplished in 1 year is pretty
Yeah.
remarkable. Starting in in like April, I think is when they kind of really started to like kick everything
Yeah.
off
I
with
mean,
the Switch.
like
No, it was
March.
March.
Oh,
was
March.
like
Yeah.
when the well, it was like the very tail end of March. is when
Yeah,
the,
It's January when they had that announcement, everyone was like, "Fuck
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
to have a new console, the SNES Classic, 2 Game of the Year candidates with your biggest hitters in your all of your IP like library, to do all that, it's pretty remarkable, and to like revolutionize kind of where the gaming industry is going to go with the
Sure.
Switch.
Let's like sprinkle in like a lot of support for like indie developers.
Yeah,
Like, they were like so good about supporting people like the
Those guys.
God, I'm so
Well, what's
off
the
my
game?
game today.
What's the game?"
I can't even remember the name of it right
Well, they
now.
did support him.
Yeah,
we can
they
absolutely
did.
say that's
They
true.
did.
I'm sorry.
They
I'm
really
I'm
did.
so off my game today.
It's okay.
But
It's just-
I was also
sickness.
going to say like
it does
outside
suck,
of
now you know.
this isn't a specific like not a specific developer, I think, but like a whole bunch of people. I think just like ladies in gaming
Ladies
was a
Oh.
big. Well, I mean, like seriously, like a big. That's a huge thing.
Oh, you
in
mean like
2017.
protagonists?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, for
There's
sure.
so
Yeah,
many
absolutely.
female-led stories
Yeah.
and all really good games. Like
Mm-hmm.
they weren't shitty at all. Like, not to say that they should be, but like, but like, you know, we're so used to playing like a big, you know, invincible man
Sure.
protagonist, but like,
Saving some
Yeah.
damsel in distress. Yeah.
yeah, but like there were tons of really good games with female leads
Yeah.
and female direction, and you know, credit to all the developers and publishers who believed in those games
Mm-hmm.
because, especially like Horizon with Guerrilla Games, like I mean, their big thing was Killzone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that
before
sucked.
that.
Like Killzone was just garbage.
Man, I hate
it's
Killzone.
such a dumb like shooter. But then they're like, you know what? Let's step away from all that nonsense and deliver something like this with an awesome, you know, female lead, great story, cool mechanics, really cool weapons in the game.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to that in the video game industry. Like how they're starting to kind of break away from the norms and the conventions that we've been like so used to from the 80s, and now we're like really seeing a whole diverse cast of not only just
Not a bunch of like
characters and-
meathead characters.
Right,
Yeah,
not only
and
characters,
even-
but even aspects of like, you know, going, of course, all loads lead to
All loads lead to
lead to
Hellblade. Yeah.
But even like the whole the mental health. You know,
Yeah,
that
you're
whole,
dealing
like,
with characters that
aspect and
have problems
Right.
and issues, but like even in a game like Wolfenstein 2, where you play a guy, BJ Blazkowicz, who's, you know, he is the ultimate
loads. Sorry.
male figure, hulking figure, but his supporting cast is fantastic, and
Right.
none of them are that.
But they also get like BJ has so much character.
Oh, yeah, he
especially in
does.
that second game.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to ruin anything, but it's
Yeah.
yeah, his depth is amazing, but it's just like
What?
his depth.
Oh, I think he said his death. I was like, he just said don't
No,
spoil
no,
it.
no. His depth. Spoilers. No, his
spoiler has depth.
he's got a lot of depth, but his supporting cast in that game is phenomenal. like
yeah.
all the
Right.
characters in that game are amazing. Just in and of themselves, they're great. Like, and they're all different. None of them are these big white dudes who are just like, let's go kill Nazis. Not that he's like that, but you know, they're none of
Maybe a
them.
little bit.
But that's the thing. Like each character in that game, none of them repeat themselves.
And a
They're
lot of really
all-
strong women too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Really strong female characters from the first one into the second one. Just good year for females. in
Yeah,
general
and there's
in
just been
games.
such a huge and positive response to that in gaming. So I think we're obviously going to
Yeah.
see a whole new, like, just this trend of diversity to keep going
Yeah,
into.
and
going
you
into
saw
next year.
like when Nintendo announced Metroid, the new Metroid Prime, people lost their shit. People seem really excited for Bayonetta 3. You know, I mean, it's a cool trend to see, and I mean, you know, not saying that like, oh, it's about time, but you know, it's just kind of cool to.
It is kind of, you know, like
Well,
how long are we going to steep ourselves in these conventions that are not?
No,
you know,
no.
They get tired and old.
No, I know, but I'm like, when I say this, I don't want to sound like, you know, it's bad that there are male leads. Like, not at all, but like, it's cool to have different. You know,
Yeah,
it's
for
cool
sure.
for
Yeah,
things
no,
to be
it's
different.
not
It's that-
bad.
it's-
It's just that that's the norm. So
Right,
it's nice
right.
To break
It's
it.
yeah,
you
it's
know,
just
like,
yeah, it's good to be different. You know, see different things, play different characters, and like how they interact with you know different.
Yeah, that's the
games.
thing,
They,
it's
they
like-
can also kick ass too, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just it's really cool. Like, and there were a lot of really good
Break the
games.
cage,
Yeah,
man,
it's
get out of
you
the
know
box.
one of the things I love about video games is the whole concept of like, you know, kind of stepping into somebody else's shoes and seeing things from a different perspective.
Totally.
And kind of, you know, living in that world and with that character. And
Sure.
it's like things like, you know, Hellblade is such like a, you know, sorry, I know we keep going back to
You
it.
don't
but-
never apologize for that. Never apologize.
but
for
it's
that.
just you know it's such a different type of world with a different type of character that, you know, obviously I'm never going to experience something like that in real life.
Sure.
But it's just like those are the moments I live for, and it's like you know, Senua in that game is just like is such a fascinating character to like kind of step in the shoes of, and you know, like it could have worked as a guy too, but it's just like it's good to have something a little different than
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly.
Totally.
I think that's like it gives you
That's the
so
purpose
much.
of the medium. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like put
it's-
yourself in different shoes. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's- Why
Yeah.
else are you playing games besides to like experience something from a completely different vantage point or perspective?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I dig it, and I think that's going to be a pretty unanimous prediction for 2018. It's like, yeah, it's going to continue on to that, and I can't wait to see what other things happen there too, because it has huge implications and like ramifications for like, you know, because we are men, we are always personified or represented in video games, but like there's a lot of fucking people that are like, where the fuck is my character? And that's why Overwatch did
sure.
so well, you know. So I think that I'm excited to see what happens there in this industry. It's a beautiful thing that it's finally now starting to like kick in and become a trend that is actually working. So
Yeah, totally.
it's dope. Now, I kind of since the New Year's is wrapping up here, or the New Year's this year is about to wrap up. What are some resolutions that you guys want to like put on yourselves for next year in terms of like gaming? Like, what are some things? I know what I think your resolution should be. Just right now, just out the gate, fucking, you both should play Witcher 3. Like, that's a thing that needs to happen.
It's just sitting on my shelf.
That is so good. You can get ready for fucking Cyberpunk 2027 or whatever.
Yeah, when it comes out in 2027 or whatever.
Or whatever, yeah.
I don't want to.
Oh, man.
And this is,
me.
I know, but I just don't want to commit to that. It's too much.
It's not.
It is.
Here's
it's
the
too
thing.
much to
Have you guys
commit to.
heard about the Cyberpunk, but like what they're trying to do, like the entire like magnitude that they're trying to pull on that game? Where
Honestly,
there's not an NPC. There's no NPC in the entire thing, except for like maybe like 3, like to like help you get a quest every now and then. But like the majority of the population of the game, they're trying to like basically make it like the Oasis from Ready Player One. Like that's what they're making on that kind of scale, and it's insanity.
Yeah,
You're right. It's not coming for a while.
Yeah, no, that's like
Magic Leap
another
comes out with the
5
fucking
years.
goggles. Yeah.
But like, I'm definitely looking forward to Cyberpunk. Like, I don't know, I tend to like sci-fi stuff a lot more than fantasy stuff.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, super opposite.
I don't know. I feel like just sci-fi. I mean, I feel like fantasy stuff's just like, everybody sort of plays the same tropes over and over. It's just like, okay, magic and elves and all this nonsense. Been there, done that. Huh?
Magic is cool though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But
Especially in Japan.
Just waiting for it.
you know what's like even cooler than magic? Digimon.
Right about that.
It's like digital magic.
It's like you're right. Digital magic.
No, I mean, yeah, like so. Okay, but that I want you guys. If you're gonna play Cyberpunk, you gotta play their other stuff. And Witcher 3 is fucking a godsend.
Because it's a sequel, right?
Well,
It's the sequel to Witcher 3.
Just know what you're getting into. The kind of like sheer depth of a world that they really immerse you in. I'm telling you guys, I really would love to see you guys again. I know that this is kind of antithetical to that because once you play the game, I may never see you ever again. But it's so good. But all right, that's what I would impose on you guys.
I'll get there.
What are some of your New Year's resolutions though? If you can, I'm gonna let you start with you.
Okay, that's fine. No pressure.
Do you want some? We can go.
No, I was gonna say I just don't want to for the Witcher 3, not for doing a resolution.
That's your resolution? I don't want to.
I don't want to.
Just whatever it is, I don't want to do it.
Don't impose your
Do
will.
not want.
Let's see. A resolution in gaming.
And this shit is being recorded, so like you have to stick with it. Yeah. People are gonna know. If
You know what? I'd like to, especially since it's not bad in terms of prices. I'd like to once a month get like a new released indie on my Switch and play it completely, because I just want to like broaden my horizons in terms of like gaming and shit.
Sure.
It
It was so like well articulated until the end.
That's just how I talk. But no, I think it's like the Switch is such a perfect system for that, for playing new games, things you'd never hear of, even if they've been released already, because I know it has a lot of that, like games that were released a few years ago. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to try and at least once a month get like a $10, $15 game, just play it, just to, look at the other side of the spectrum from developers that aren't sponsored by, EA or, big publishers or devs. So support a smaller community and also just see what they have to offer. Because I know there's tons of really good indie games. It just, you get so distracted by the big releases that, they get overshadowed so easily.
That and just life, it's one of those things. It's hard to make time for all this, but it's kind of jumping off that. My whole resolution is just playing more games. It's just like
that's lame.
It's no. I mean,
obviously you're gonna do that.
I mean, it's just like
we can play less games.
And, no, exactly. It's just like I want to find more time for it though. It's like it's something that it's. Oh, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I know.
I played Fortnite way too much last night.
That's why you're tired. That makes sense.
But I just like and I definitely want to like I want to pick up some more indies as well. Like there's a couple that are on my list, like Golf Story, that I still haven't picked up, and I
really want to play that.
Really good apparently.
Really want to play Golf Story.
Really good reviews.
And Chef Battle Brigade looks pretty dope too.
I've heard of that.
Is that the Adult Swim one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That looks pretty sweet actually. And then I really want to play through. gosh, man, my brain today
good,
is
man.
just gone.
Okay.
Stardew Valley.
Hot coffee.
Stardew Valley. It's on Switch now.
Yeah, I really want to play that
And
too.
it's co-op. We could play it together.
Well, maybe,
We could
but
hold
I really
hands.
want to play it.
Don't go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to do it.
I really,
And-
I do really want to play that.
But I also want to get an Xbox One just so I have it. You know, want to have my Cuphead.
Yeah, I would love to. That's my resolution. You know, is to have
Play more
more.
Cuphead.
Well, obviously that, but like also to have more of those fucking nights where we get together.
Yeah,
And
true that.
we relive the childhood days. Of
Such a
playing-
weird resolutions.
I
I want to
think it's
make
fun.
I want to make a resolution to hang out more.
What? You fucking hey, dude. No, we should.
I mean, that's not right. I just want to do that.
All right, okay, fine. Another resolution then for me. I want to impose resolutions. I don't know why that's what I want to do. I want to impose a
Go ahead.
resolution on Nintendo to be like, dude, give us fucking Owlboy and Hollow Knight on the Switch, because I would love to play that
I
shit.
think that'll come.
Honestly,
Oh,
I
you
think-
know what? That's another. I would like to make a resolution to play more Microsoft games. Because I don't play any. Because I don't have an Xbox, and I have a PC that can handle gaming. I just don't play on my PC because I don't like to.
Yeah.
So I'll try and do that too.
And then I think actually a realistic one. I'm gonna resolute to go down Kickstarter more often and start seeing what's going on with the video game industry and community there, and see what
And
games
Patreon.
are.
There's games on
And
Patreon.
Patreon too. Yeah, I want to see. I want to kind of like give back to the community a little bit in the same way that you want to do your indies.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to like go and see more things like missing, discover
Yeah.
more things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, and
for
really,
sure.
because I really believe in that game and I want to see it. You know, it was nice to have that like a couple months of like, fuck everyone, just $10, and then put it in and fucking go. And now it's a thing, and we're gonna see what that happens. But I would love to like dive deeper into Kickstarter and see what's going on.
Sure,
So,
sure.
That's a good one.
Kind of what I do.
Yeah. And I think just like overall, resolution for multiplayer is just like grow,
Get
do
good.
more stuff, get good.
We'll get good at being a podcast.
Beat Nintendo Power. Never let them come onto
We will
YouTunes.
crush them.
We are YouTunes.
Crush Nintendo.
You hear that,
Power.
Nintendo Power?
We're coming
Suck it.
for you. Coming
just
for
kidding,
you.
I'm just
Get you the
kidding.
people's elbow.
No, we're not kidding.
That's what I'm
I challenge all people on Nintendo Power to a round of Smash.
Ooh.
That would be a fucking
It's
show.
out there.
That would be a goddamn.
It's out on the ether.
That's multiplayer's resolution right there. Challenge and fucking power.
That's not a resolution. That's just a challenge.
Well, we're gonna challenge more. We're gonna be fucking real
Yeah.
weird about it too. We're gonna send them like
Just like
things.
Mario
Things.
heads.
Yeah, like
in the
pieces
mail.
of our hair.
No. Come on, dude. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna send threats. We're gonna take dolls of Mario, cut his head off, and then mail it to them. Be like, this is
That's
you.
sacrilege, man. Come on.
Fine. Waluigi. Then. Whatever.
There you go.
We'll do it to Waluigi.
Oh man, I love it.
Anyway, Nintendo
I feel
Power,
sick now,
you're going
too. Like,
down.
Yeah, now you're playing with power, son.
Yeah.
all right, guys, that is the show, and that's the last show of the year.
Yeah.
That is the last, at least multiplayer. We might have one more bonus round, right? I think we have another bonus round coming this month. I may be wrong.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, it just released on Patreon, so it'll release
yes,
to the YouTube
you guys
crowd.
will get one more episode.
Yes.
But then we're fucking. That's it. 2017, man.
We're
You know,
fucking.
a lot of great things happened. Nintendo got the Switch. Some games won some awards. Multiplayer began.
This is an
you know?
amazing year for video games.
Yeah,
Let's just
and
say that.
podcasts,
It's,
man. Multiplayer.
Well,
Yeah.
they go hand in hand.
is
It's
true.
because of us. So.
Yeah, that's probably why
Absolutely.
2017.
Absolutely, very humble, and we gotta keep
Although
doing that.
I feel like I'm
Bonus.
going out on such a low, just blah. It's just,
Well, the
just, I'm
next
dying.
year, that first episode, you gotta come out fucking swinging,
I
but
am.
not literally.
Jesus! Although I won't be here next week because I'll be out of town.
Me too. I think there's a bit of a hiatus that's happening here. I think
Yeah.
we might be
So
like,
what's
off the
happening?
first week.
Yeah, unless I do it by myself.
That's all right. It could happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
So we will keep you, keep you coming back for more. With a hiatus. No, we will definitely let you know what we're doing and what's going on. I'm sure if we do take off a little bit, it's just going to be for a week, and then we'll
Yeah,
right back
just a
in
week.
Yeah,
2018.
we're taking
doing
a
our
week
stuff.
off for New Year's, and then we'll be right back at it.
Fucking boom. So there you go. So you guys enjoy your New Year's, and I hope that your resolutions go well. And get your ass to the gym. I know that's your resolution. Go do it.
No.
No, play more
Why
games.
would you tell them that?
Because they're telling themselves that.
Don't do gyms. Do your workouts at home. It's way better.
Yeah.
Get on your Wii Fit. Get
Stupid
dust that
gym.
off and go ahead and go to town.
Get out
Anyways,
your
guys,
Digimon and show them a good time.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. It was an awesome year, and we love having you back. Listeners, viewers, patrons, all of it. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that you can watch this on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/multiplayer. And you can also listen to this on the podcast, which is both available on iTunes and Google Play. YouTunes. I want to say YouTunes. Didn't say it that time. And also, we do have a Patreon page that we would love to have you guys kind of check it out because it really does help us make this show bigger and better for your viewing pleasure. You know, just like $1 a month by donating helps us out do a lot more things on our end, but also gives you access to 2 extra videos a month. That's called our bonus round. Or our bonus round. There it is. So we gave you that to you guys as well. But honestly, you don't have to worry about that too much because if you don't have the cash or you haven't been, want to do it. I lost my train of thought.
In case you're poor.
Then we also give this show to you for free. And those extra videos, the bonus round, is a timed exclusive for our Patreon members and then comes a week later for our YouTube and podcast listeners. So there is that. You can follow us on all of our news that we have talked about on here, all the links and all that good stuff, and behind the scenes at our Twitter and Instagram pages, which are at GoMultiplayered. And you can follow us at our personal pages, mine specifically, Instagram at Guillermo_Dorado. I'm going to get this. The year's almost over. Twitter at Masdorado. And you can follow Zach here at
Zach Matzganis, ZACKMATZGANIS.
And you can also follow Hav at where?
I'm just trying to Instagram us right now as we talk.
Are we inceptioning?
So you can follow me at Multiplayer Hav on Twitter and Reddit.
It's like happening at the same time. It's crazy.
What?
There you go. So you can watch that video in real time.
I don't know how to stop it.
And on our Instagram page. You can also follow our camera guys behind the scenes who are both our PC and Xbox resident gamers. You will be seeing them much, much more next year. That is a fucking
Nathan.
Promise. We have
Looking
Nathan
at you, kid.
Redfern. You can find him at Multiplayer NAF. And you can also find Mick Wood, who you already met a couple episodes ago, at Mick to the Wood on both Instagram and Twitter. Guys.
I just Instagrammed it.
Done. I'm so proud of you, man. That's the second one. That's fantastic.
All I did was press send, so
Fucking
I don't know
boom.
how to do other stuff, but I will. That's another resolution of mine. I'm going to learn Instagram.
Fantastic.
Gonna do that.
Also, a special thank you to DJ CUTMAN for letting us use his amazing chiptune music to intro and outro the show. You can also find more of his stuff at his web address at
his URL
and also his SoundCloud as well.
At Digimon.com.
What? Did you hear? We're gonna be back next year.
Oh, nice.
See you guys at the respawn.
We did it, guys. 2017 down. Let's go into 2018. Right?
All right, 2018.
Multiplayer on 3.
2018.
No?
Put your fucking hand in.
Put it in.
2018.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2. Yeah!
Multiplayer. What?
Bye.
Later.
On behalf of Multiplayer, Mario would like to send a special thank you to Jaden Lawrence, Arturo Mendera, Merchad and Kroll Pitaru. Thank you so much for watching.